f1y j cap plus f1z k cap. Similarly f2 bar, so f2x I cap, f2y j cap, f2z k cap, and so on. Let's write f3 also. F3 is equal to f3x I cap, f3y j cap, and f3z k cap, f4 f4x I cap, f4y j cap, f4z k cap. Now substituting all these values here, so this r bar is equal to f1x I cap, f1y j cap, f1z k cap plus f2x I cap, f2y j cap, f2z k cap plus, and so on, like this. Now bringing all I terms together, so this r bar is equal to f1x plus f2x plus f3x plus, and so on, I cap, and this is f1y plus f2y plus f3y plus, and so on, j cap plus f1z plus f2z plus f3z, and so on, k cap. That is, in further simplifying this r bar is equal to sigma fx. Sigma fx means summation of x components of all the forces. Sigma fx I cap, sigma fy j cap, and sigma fz k cap. Now if you are replacing these forces by a single force r bar, let r bar has, if you resolve it, that r bar into three components, we can write this r bar as rx I cap, ry j cap, and rz k cap. Then substituting this equation r bar r bar here in this equation and comparing on both sides, what we get here is rx is equal to sigma fx, and ry is equal to sigma fy, rz is equal to sigma fj, and here r is equal to under root of rx square plus ry square plus rz square, and so on. And angles, so we'll get we'll see that later when we discuss more detail about the forces in space. So in general you will get this rx r equal to under root rx square plus ry square plus rz square. Now if the forces are like coplanar and concurrent, for coplanar and concurrent system of forces, so this z component is 0, that is rz is 0, because they lie in a plane, all forces lie in a plane and concurrent. So this, then you get this r is equal to rx square plus ry square only, because r bar is equal to then rx I plus ryj. So r equal to rx square plus ry square, and say, so this is next angle. So somebody may take here, say this is rx x component and this is ry, then your r may be something like this in order to according to the triangle law. So if you take this as your angle, that is you are describing the resultant force r with respect to x-axis, then theta, then tan theta is equal to ry by rx. Or if you are describing this resultant force with respect to y-axis, then the tan pi is equal to rx by ry. So you may say that r is making an angle theta with x-axis, or r is making an angle pi with the y-axis, such that the relation is given here. So this is how we can find out this resultant forces using the method of resolution. Next is the condition for equilibrium of a particle. So we have been discussing about the resultant force of system of forces. So now let us discuss about this condition for equilibrium of a particle. Particle means here the body whose dimensions are neglected, such that now it's like a point object, like a particle where all are now concurrent forces. All are now concurrent forces. Particle means it is a point object where all the forces are concurrent, that is the dimensions of the body are neglected in that problem. So in such case, when system of forces are acting on a body which is assumed as a particle or point object, then according to, if it is in equilibrium, according to Newton's first law, the net resultant force must be equal to 0. That is, if the particle is in equilibrium, r bar is equal to 0. R bar is the resultant of system of forces. Let us say a number of forces are acting on a body. Because of those number of forces, the body is in rest. It is in rest means, according to the Newton's first law, the net, that is the resultant force, must be equal to 0. But R bar actually equal to what? This is the Rx I cap and Ry j cap and Rz k cap. Further, this Rx is equal to sigma fx and Ry is equal to sigma fy, Rz is equal to sigma fz. Comparing on both sides. So this is, you can write this 0 null vector like a 0i plus 0j plus 0k. So comparing on both sides, you will get Rx equal to 0. So Rx equal to sigma fx equal to 0 and Ry is equal to sigma fy equal to 0 and Rz equal to sigma fz equal to 0. So this is the condition for the equilibrium of a particle. Here sigma fx means summation of x components of, that is the algebraic summation of x components of all the forces acting on a body. Sigma fy means algebraic summation of y components of all the forces acting on a body. Sigma fz means algebraic summation of z components of all the forces acting on a body. All this must be equal to 0 for the body to be in equilibrium. That implies, now before you need to draw a diagram and then resolve all the forces along x, y and z direction. Then only you can write these equations. 3 equations: Rx equal to 0, Ry equal to 0, Rz equal to 0, and then solve for the unknowns. So here let us discuss this condition for equilibrium of rigid body also. More detail we will discuss later, but in brief let me give you the equations. So in case of rigid body means here the dimensions are not neglected. We cannot neglect the dimensions of a rigid body, like shown here in this body. Here there are some dimensions, like let us say this is L and breadth P for this body. So here the dimensions are not neglected. If it is neglected, then we write the same body. If you assume this as a point object, then like this, here F1 and here F2. Now same here is going to act F3, because it is assumed as a point object. Okay, then all forces are concurrent. But when we consider this body as a rigid body, now we cannot neglect the dimensions L and B of this body. So then what is the equilibrium conditions in this case? First, since the body is in equilibrium, it is not moving, so R must be equal to 0. R must be equal to 0. That implies the resultant force must be equal to 0. But only that condition will not satisfy. Maybe because of this resultant force 0, because of this body may not translate, but it can rotate at the same position. In this case, because of F1 and F3, there may be some rotational effect may be created. Then what happens is body will not move. It will not move in translation motion, but it will rotate at that place only. So that implies then that is not like equilibrium condition. So for the body to be in equilibrium, for the rigid body to be in equilibrium, along with this resultant force equal to 0, there should be another condition should be satisfied, that is the moment that is the rotational effect also must be equal to 0. That implies net movement about any point, maybe any point say O, equal to 0. So this is the difference for the equilibrium of a particle and a rigid body. In case of a particle, there is no movement because it's like a point object, so there is no movement here. But in case of the rigid body, so there may be some rotational effect, that is there may be some movement. So for the rigid body to be in equilibrium, along with the resultant force equal to 0, net movement also must be equal to 0. Then only we say that the rigid body is in equilibrium. And if you write in component wise, so this is like r bar equal to rx, r by rz, so this rx equal to 0 and ry equal to 0, rz equal to 0, where rx equal to, this is sigma fx, sigma fy and sigma fz. So similarly, net momentum